Hello, hello, Josie here. Are you ready for the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? And are you sure? Okay, here we go. Uh, the last 2 decades of my life, I had been focused on other people's happiness. I was focused on what other people wanted, what they needed, what they, in a way, liked, what they wanted. I was focused on them. I lost focus, or rather, I did not focus on what I wanted. In a lot of ways, I was scared of the things that I wanted, and I believed from the way that I was brought up, the way that I was raised, how I was treated in my family unit, I was scared that I was not going to be successful, that I was not going to be able to accomplish what it was that I wanted, what I wanted to do, my passions, my interest, things that I really truly desired. So I say I loosely because it was also that same family that did not support what it was that I wanted to do. They were jealous of what I wanted to do. They wanted to do what I wanted to do. Or they did not want me to be able to achieve what it was that I wanted to do. Because if I did, that would make them feel insecure, that would increase their jealousy, and they were already jealous of me from a very young age because of who I belonged to. And they went to certain practitioners within the church even that gave them information about what my purpose was in life at a very young age. So they had been engaging in acting and doing toxic things against me from a very young age. And I could go down the list of the things that they've done to me, but stay tuned. I will share what they in fact did to me over the years. But one of the things that they wanted to do to delay and or to stop me from going in the direction of my dreams and things that I was interested in was they had me to get into a relationship with Mike, who is now deceased. Mike is 40 years my senior. He was 40 years my senior when we met. And I was with him for over 2 decades. And the time that we spent together, the years that we shared together, although there were some good times, there were some stressful times, there were some toxic times, there were some behaviors that I did not understand at a young age that he was engaging in, some toxic things. And it was not until years later, on his deathbed even, when he shared and or told me the truth about some things that I, in a way, already knew. All right? Now, that's not saying that he's a terrible guy or that he's evil or that he's wicked, but his behaviors, as I've said before, there are individuals that have demons within them that have not been removed and or excised, if you want to say that. And these demons work through these individuals, even those that you love, that are in your family or that you're connected to. That's why you got to be careful about who you connect to, because their demons can end up being your demons as well too, and you're having to deal with the demons that are within them, and that can cause for a toxic relationship. Now, this relationship it was in a way arranged and or set up by my mother. I don't know the details of what was exchanged, whether there was money exchanged. I'm sure there was, and or whether there were certain things that he had to do, and I am certain about that, certain things that he ended up doing against me to gain for himself as well as certain people in my family. I experienced a lot over the 2 decades that we were together. And the delay was just one of many things. And the reason why they were delaying me is because they knew I was going to be successful whatever I went into. And what I wanted to go into, they knew I was definitely going to be successful. And they didn't want that to happen. They didn't want to see it. They didn't want to deal with the jealousy of seeing that, the envy of seeing that, as well as what I was going to gain from going down that path. So they deterred and delayed. And you might say, well, what do you mean? They put in front of me something that I desired. I wanted a relationship. They also knew that I was interested in or liked somewhat older guys. So they thought that he was a viable individual. And he had been into some corrupt things over the course of his life. And or engaged in behaviors that a lot of people would not find acceptable unless they also engage in those same behaviors. You know, before the dark web, which you've heard about online, before the dark web, how do you think that individuals that were engaged in dark practices found each other? I want you to think about that. And I want you to think about someone that is 40 years my senior, 60 years old when we met, right? Think about the time before internet, and if he was engaged in corrupt behavior and or wicked and toxic behavior, how did he go about doing so? How did he go about meeting certain individuals? How did he go about getting in certain circles and or letting his whatever he's able to do be known to gain off of that? You got to think about this stuff. It's not just the new school that we have to be concerned about as far as the dark web. It's the old school way of things and how things were done. And you have a lot of people that go the old school way of doing things, the old school route of doing things, because you can't be found out as easily as you can be on a website or on the internet. I'm going to leave it at that for now, but I want to share with you that that was how I was delayed in a lot of ways. And because I was so focused on our home and the businesses that he was interested in, he wanted to get involved in, and I was helping him, as well as being a partner in those businesses with him because that's what he wanted to do, that kept me from doing certain things that I wanted to do. And every time I did try to go in a different direction that would make me happy, I was deterred again in having to go in another direction in order to take care of house and home. I'm going to leave it at that. Gotta go. Bye.